Hey again from the garden, it's Christina from Sunshine and Flora. So as you saw at the beginning of the video, I am very busy out in the garden right now. So in this video, I just wanted to show you here in early spring, mid-May in zone 5A in Northwest Iowa, what I'm currently harvesting for cut flower bouquets, and then what else I'm doing around in the garden. I am getting ready for big planting sessions in ground, so I've been doing some garden prep. So that's what I'm also going to share with you in this video. So we're starting here in the hoop house because obviously this is the cheeriest place in the garden. I have been very busy harvesting ranunculus for probably the last 4 or 5 days. And as you can see, I need to come through here this morning and harvest a lot more. I've got all colors blooming. My amadine white is really productive right now. I'm starting to see some picotees, and this that my arm is getting caught on, this is bupleurum, and this is actually starting to bud up. These bupleurum self-seeded themselves from bupleurum that I grew in here last year. Look at how tall this is. I mean, this is just crazy. I definitely am going to let the bupleurum do this next year. You may notice my outfit. I am not dressed for gardening this morning. My daughter has her preschool program this morning, so I'm just out here doing a few things, but this afternoon when I get back, I'm going to be in full planting mode. So the second half of this video is going to be me showing you how I garden prep and what I'm going to be planting first today. But as far as what I am harvesting right now for blooms, mainly ranunculus. The bupleurum will probably be ready next week. And then off to my side here, this is all campanula, and the buds are forming now, and they're actually starting to show a bit of color. So I can definitely tell that this is the purple side by the color of the buds. The white is on the other side, and I have never grown campanula before, so I am not sure if this is going to take 1 week or 2 weeks to be ready. I am just not sure, but I am really excited to have these to harvest. Now, these have grown all winter in the hoop house. I planted these in ground last October. They wintered over in my hoop house here. I'm zone 5A. I read about doing this method on the Johnny's website, and clearly it worked. These are plugs that I ordered from Farmer Bailey, and then again planted them in October, and then I'll be harvesting them here in the spring. Soon I will also be harvesting my feverfew because it has just shot up and is budding up. I absolutely love feverfew, so I'm thrilled to have this really early patch. And then the filler that I am currently using in bouquets is this Persian cress, and you can see I have tried to stake this up. This plant is just a beast, but it is a beautiful filler. The seed pods are formed, so I'm going to be harvesting this today as well, and then this will go as a filler in my bouquets. So now that the hoop house is planted and functioning, I'm going to start concentrating on all of my in-ground planting. And I probably could have started planting in the ground a couple weeks ago, but we have just had so much rain. We've been getting rain almost every other day, and it's been like an inch at a time, and the ground has just been so muddy. I haven't been able to get a lot of planting done. We actually got rain again overnight last night, but I am hoping by this afternoon with the sun, the ground is really workable. I did get some status in yesterday, which I want to show you, but let's walk over to the fenced-in garden area, my main garden spot, and I want to show you what I'm going to be doing first, where, and how I've been prepping. So this is the main area of the garden. This is what you saw me prepping in the video. I was pulling weeds here and started to put down some landscape fabric. Then it started raining and I had to quit. This side, this is where a lot of my snapdragons and dahlias are going. You can see far in the distance I have some lilies coming up from last year. My husband tilled this just to kind of loosen the soil a little bit. We don't like to do a major till, but we did loosen this up nice. And then I was raking it, and so it is all smooth and ready to go. This area will get landscape fabric laid down to burn holes like for the snapdragons, but then just to create paths for the dahlias. But let me show you what I am doing first, because this is the area I'm going to be planting very first this afternoon. So before I show you that, you'll notice this small patch that is planted. This is all status, and this is as much as I got planted yesterday before the rain. These were some seedlings that I had potted up, so they are a really nice size, and the rain actually was perfect to get them watered in. This whole bed, if we zoom out, this whole area is going to be filled with status this year. So this is the area that I will be planting first this afternoon. You can see this is the landscape fabric that I was laying in that video. I still need to trim the front edge and finish putting the staples in. But then I will be burning holes 9 inches apart, and this is where all of my rudbeckia is going. Towards the back are all of these peonies that I am growing, and then towards the front of the bed will be the rudbeckia, which is a perennial in my area. So this whole bed that we worked on tilling and raking yesterday, this is completely going to be filled. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that this is where my greenhouse used to sit, kind of, maybe right at the edge of here. Now my dahlias will be all down here. I will not landscape fabric around them, but I will use landscape fabric in the paths. And then I would say from here on over, let me see if I can pan over the whole area for you. There we go. All the way down here. This is all going to be landscape fabric and then holes burnt. I will be planting mostly snapdragons in this area. I think I have a row allotted for strawflower and then maybe a row allotted for Lysianthus on my garden plan. However, I have some Fama pincushion flowers that really need to get in the ground, so they may run the front edge of the bed here. One of my planting areas where some of these plants were going to go, I need to leave open because we have to have a gas line put in to the neighboring building right here that we are renovating, and I think the gas line is going to go directly through that bed, so I have to hold off. Now also this bed that runs all along the wall here, I have to leave this area open because that's where the HVAC is going to go, but the rest of it, kind of from these windows over, I can go ahead and lay the landscape fabric and get that area ready to be prepped. This area of the garden is also bouncing back nicely. Over here, this is all yarrow. This is all self-seeded bells of Ireland, which needs thinned. And this taller patch right here, that is my mountain mint that has come back, and it is looking beautiful. So as far as how I prep my beds to get them ready to plant my cut flowers, besides doing a little tilling and raking to be nice and flat, I use the landscape fabric, which I lay down, and then with each different variety, I will burn the holes at a certain spacing depending on variety. And as I plant in my videos, I will share what I space at. For example, I know I mentioned my rudbeckia, I do it 9 inches apart. Snapdragons, I love to plant those really close at like 4 inches apart. But that is one of the things that I do to prep. Before I lay down my landscape fabric, I usually like to amend the soil a little bit, either with a compost, or I've been using the Biotone starter fertilizer the last couple years, and I think that really gives them a good kickstart. If you have really nice soil and you don't think you need to add compost, if you make compost, save that for your vegetable garden. I like to use the Biotone starter fertilizer for my flowers. And then of course I will do fertilizing of the cut flowers with the Alaska More Bloom. I'll link that down below. I do that throughout the growing season. But that's basically it. You got to make sure all the weeds are gone. You have to make sure your soil is nice and pliable, and I like to give them a little bit of food because those seedlings are in their seed trays, in the seed starting medium most likely, or a potting soil. Most of mine are in a seed starting medium. Actually, some of my soil blocks are in a compost, but they have run out of their nutrients, so they're really hungry. So you got to make sure the soil is ready for them, and they're just going to take off growing like crazy. So that gets me up to this point in today and the conclusion of this video. That is what's going on in the garden right now and how I am prepping. And this afternoon I will start planting, and I will set the camera up as I go. The first thing I'm planting is the Rudbeckia. Then I will be laying landscape fabric, and I have a ton of snapdragons that need to get in the ground, like 4 or 5 trays. Those will get planted next. Like I said, probably the Fama scabiosa. Then I will probably landscape fabric some other areas and get those ready, but I will take you guys all along on that. And then the video after that you will probably see will be my dahlia planting. I really want to get my dahlias in the ground tomorrow, so I will set the camera up when I do that too. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Oh, I've had a few of you asking about building renovation updates. I will have a video on that next week for you. There has been a lot going on. I have a lot of before and afters to show you. So watch for that next week. That will be the future retail space of Sunshine and Flora. So anyway, stay tuned for a lot. There's a lot going on. We will see you soon.